Good. Just, ready to talk to our listeners again this morning.
We're covering such good content today.
I know, I'm excited. Cheers. Although I'm low-key a little, I get annoyed at season 2, but it's gonna make for a good episode because there's gonna be lots of
what's going on here?
Lots of opinions, lots of hot takes. Oh, we've got a little curly Q action going on.
What is going on?
The beauty of seeing yourself on camera.
I am on camera all day for my job, and it's very stressful. But
I don't think I could ever. Like, I work from home, so like some days, not all days, but like the days I work from home, I'm like, if people actually saw me like what I looked like, I'd be like, no, we're not doing that.
Why'd we hire this girl?
Okay, so should we just jump right in?
Yes.
All right, so we left off, we talked about season 1 last time. We're going to talk about season 2, and I'm wearing my You Mad Bro shirt because, yes, season 2 makes me very mad.
There's a lot in season 2, but I want to start, it's not necessarily a hot take, but I want to make a meme about season 2 so bad, and I can't because this image doesn't exist on the internet.
Okay.
And then it feels like copyright infringement to take an image like from like recording, like watching the show.
Yeah.
But have you seen those things when it's like I say this and when somebody doesn't understand, like when I say I watch Friends all the time and they don't get it, or when I say
Oh yeah, like so like it'll be like a picture of like Phoebe and she's like
yeah,
or like whatever, like I get it, like rolling her eyes or whatever, like.
So mine is, and I want it to be a picture of Felix getting out of the shower in the slumber party episode, and underneath it says, when I say the water is hot and no one gets it. Ooh, the water is hot, and so is Felix.
Oh my God.
I think about it every time. Anytime I get in the shower and I go, ooh, hot, I go, ooh, the water is hot.
So you thought Felix was hot?
No, but that's what he says in the show. He's singing in the shower.
Okay. Gotcha.
He goes over to Nathan and Haley's, and he sings, ooh, the water is hot. And so is Felix. He sings it in the background, and so that's what I want.
I don't think I ever picked up on that before.
Oh my goodness.
And I've watched that a lot. I don't think you know why? I don't like it. So maybe that's why I just don't pay attention to it.
That's true. But it's also background audio, so you really have to maybe be paying attention. But he sings that when he goes to take a shower.
Well, next time I do a rewatch, I'm definitely going to pay attention to that now. And
that's one of my favorite episodes, so of season 2.
That is a good episode. And let me just say, I don't hate the entire season, but if you just look at the series as a whole and you really dive into what they were doing with the characters, what they did with a lot of the storylines, it was very subpar work. It just wasn't to the level of what season 1 was, and then to follow it up with that season. Like, they're lucky that they had already created a fan base, because I'm not going to lie, that season almost makes me not want to move forward at sometimes. Mm-hmm. But then I already know as a viewer, because I binged it back in the day, season 3 gets so good. So like, I know I just have to get through it. You know what I mean? But
I tell people that all the time who are starting to watch the show, who ask me about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, season 1, magic, gold. Season 2, trash, I'm really sorry. Season 3 will redeem all your hope in humanity, and then you're just set from that point on.
Yeah. And again, like I said, there are moments of season 2 that were great and I did love about the show. I think they were trying to experiment a little bit with like bringing in some new characters, trying to, I think they were trying to test some different friendships and relationships in the series as well at that point. So I think it was just a lot of like experimenting and seeing what was going to work. And clearly I think they realized this is just not working and we need to go back to like what makes this show Good, yeah. So before we jump into like, because I have some highs and lows, I'm sure you do as well. I just kind of wanted to open on a little trivia about the show that I came across, and I don't know if people actually realize it. I think true fans actually do, but for people who maybe aren't diehard fans, like you probably already realize this, but the concept of Trick was written in because of how well the music was being recepted by people. So,
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, so Trick wasn't actually like a point of the story. Like they purposely wrote that in to the show because of how well everybody was relating to the music, and they wanted to start bringing that live music element into the show. So they were like, what can we do? So that was kind of like a spur of the moment, we're going to write this storyline in. It wasn't a planned out storyline at first. It was kind of just an afterthought after the fact. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So
as someone who touts herself as the biggest fan, I didn't know that. And so
I didn't know it either. I was intrigued by like, what are things that I don't know about the show? Because obviously we've watched it so many times, and I'm like, I want to go back and see if there's something that I don't remember, or like there's something I don't know that the writers were thinking about for the show. And so I just Googled one day, I said One Tree Hill trivia, and I just wanted to like look at it, and I was like, oh, I came across that, and I was like, you know what? It's a good thing to talk about for this episode. So, yeah. So yeah, that's my opening little trivia for everyone today.
Did you know? Did you not know? Now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know. I guess I don't. Joe, are we gonna start with highs or are we gonna start with lows?
Let's start with the lows.
Okay.
I feel like last time we started with the highs, but there was a good balance of the highs and the lows, and I have so many lows that I'm like, I think we need to end on the high because we need to bring it back into our love for the show. So let's get the stuff that we don't like out of the way.
All right. So I will start with mine. My lows were Haley's whole storyline in season 2.
Yep.
Her whole storyline. Mm-hmm. Peyton's drug addiction, wasn't a fan. Brooke and Felix as a relationship, dislike. Nathan going to Taylor after he went to see Haley on tour, despise.
We literally, so far your list is like very similar to mine.
I despise
Slightly different, but very similar to mine so far.
Jules as a whole.
Awful. Just awful. Just awful.
I love Maria Menounos. I think she's great. I did not like Jules the character. The whole plot line of Lucas trying to prove that Dan's embezzling money and Brooke piecing together shredded paper clippings because she was bored.
Yeah, I was like, are we in like CSI now? Like, what is happening here? We're not a crime show, people. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Couldn't have come up with something better for Dan to have been doing? Like, have another kid out there? Come on.
Oh, that would have been juicy.
Yeah.
Dan fathering another child.
That nobody knows about.
That nobody knows about, but came into the picture.
That's a storyline.
That is a story. I would have liked that. That would have been good.
I think that was my. I'm sure there's more, but those were my top ones. For sure.
Okay, I'll go through my list because some of them, like I said, are similar to Vanessa's, but some are a little different. Trying to tempt Nathan with the stripper, I was like, this is not happening. Like before, like Haley leaving, like they were, still showing the marriage and all those things. Like
a fun figure party.
I was like, he's been thrown all this stuff before. I was like, that's not going to tempt him this time around, but sure, great job. I just didn't, it wasn't believable. It wasn't good. Dan and the whole Phoenix effect, not buying it.
Oh, yeah.
Not buying it whatsoever. Like, I knew
obviously
it. Like,
there was nothing to buy.
There was nothing to buy, but I'm just saying, like, the way they were trying to sell it, and then obviously you realize a couple episodes later that he is faking it, but I'm just saying, like, at first, like, you really just don't know, but I'm like, even as good of an actor as Paul Johansson is, like, he couldn't sell that one to me. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dan. Everything about Felix. Just, no. He needed to go. Anna didn't really bring anything to the show.
Oh. So my high involves Anna. Okay,
so let me elaborate, though, because a part of it is that I feel like they could have given her so much more to be a high of the season. But the fact that they didn't do anything with her character and what she represented for the LGBT community, which was not being represented at that time.
Yes.
Now it's everywhere. You see it a lot more in shows and movies, but back then they weren't experimenting with that at all on television because people were still like, oh, I don't want to see it, this and that.
They made her like the trope.
So
this is what happens to this.
So my low is that she didn't bring anything to the show, but a high could be that there was a room for opportunity there, which is probably what you're going to touch on, I'm assuming. Jules, I just wrote Jules annoying. So to touch base on what she said.
Jules.
You just wrote Jules. I wrote Jules annoying. Peyton doing drugs. No, like as tragic as her life was, it was just a far stretch for her to just dive right into doing something like that. I feel like it would have gradually gotten there. Maybe like start her off with like she's going to parties more. She's drinking a little bit more. Then maybe she's, you know what I mean? Like,
well, she just started with Coke
it
and
was
then,
just
had an addiction.
Yeah, like, just, she's on it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I wrote Haley lying about her music. Oh, now I know what that means. I was like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
When she lied to
about
Nathan
recording.
about, the sleepover episode that you
Yes.
really liked. Like, why lie about it? If nothing is going on, then why are you... It just didn't make sense.
Because Nathan audibly didn't like him from the beginning.
I understand that, but...
But also nothing's going on. So.
Exactly. So you lying about it and him finding out about it later then poses the threat of maybe there is something going on. So she just didn't play that right.
Agreed.
Nathan's jealousy was just... I don't know. There was something about it I just didn't...
It was a weird level for him because he was never... His demeanor in season 1 with Peyton would never make you think that he would be that jealous. But
he also never cared
that
for
much.
Peyton as much as he cared for Haley. So
valid.
It makes sense why they made him jealous. It's just the level of jealousy that he had. I still don't think it would have gotten to that point because of how confident he was as an athlete and just who he is as a person.
Also the whole line of, I used to eat guys like you for breakfast.
Yeah.
Whatever he says to Chris. When he attacks him, basically, physically assaults this man.
Yeah. Lucas moving in with Dan would never happen. Like, as much as he wants to prove a point, and like you said, with
was
like
that season 2?
Yeah, he moved in with him with the whole
to hide his HCN medication.
Yep.
Oh yes, because the sleepover episode they go to Charlotte.
Yep. But he wanted to move in to also prove the point of like he wanted to catch him doing.
Wanted to bring him down.
Yeah. I wrote Taylor messy. The whole Taylor storyline was messy. And then my last low was, I felt really bad for Mouth. I thought this was his overall lowest season as a character. I just didn't really like.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't think he had like good storylines, but I thought the one redeeming factor was his speech about Brooke for the presidency. That brought it all back together for me. But I didn't really think he was like a good friend in the season. And
pretty
like,
petty.
Yeah, he was just very dramatic, and I was like, dude, you gotta calm down.
Now knowing what we know about the writer and who he wrote himself in to be,
yes,
that pettiness and ick of Mouth in season 2 makes way more sense.
It does, but it still doesn't.
It doesn't make it better.
It doesn't make it any better.
I agree.
I'm like, his character still sucked that season, so.
Oh, Brooke doesn't like me. She's terrible.
Yeah.
Is she? She doesn't like you.
Yeah, she just doesn't like you.
It's
like,
okay.
Not everybody's gonna like everyone, so, Those were my lows.
Dang, those were some good lows.
My favorite still is Jules. Annoying.
Jules.
Annoying. Simple. Simple as that.
Also, every time I take a sip of his cup, I slurp a little bit, and I'm really hoping it's not picked up.
You're like...
Okay, do you also remember...
Wait, are we back into like... Or is this...
We're back in. The bloopers from the DVDs and how they would have...
It's been a while since I watched the DVDs.
I would just sit and watch the bloopers.
And I
so
lost
funny.
some of them in like moving. Like, I don't know if I let people borrow them.
Do you want to know something really tragic?
What?
So, when my now husband and I moved into our first house, we were cleaning and reorganizing. We were getting ready to move. It was, in the throes of 2020, 2021, and everything was digital. And I was like, you know what? I don't need these DVD box sets of One Tree Hill anymore. I am going to donate them to Goodwill.
You did not.
I didn't have all the seasons. I had seasons 1 through 6, I think. So I didn't have all the seasons.
So I had 1 through 5. Because remember, I started watching season 6 when it was in real time. So I was able to catch back up. So I bought 1 through 5. I only now have 1, 2, and 4. So I'm missing 3, which is like my favorite season. And I'm like, I must have given it to somebody to borrow or something because I don't know what happened to 3 or 5.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I donated all of mine.
It's gone.
Somebody at some Goodwill in Phoenix really hit the jackpot.
They really did.
Except, and I'll get more to this in our next episode, but there's a disc in season 3 that didn't work because I watched it so much.
Interesting. I'm wondering what episodes those were. You'll have to fill us in when we get to season 3.
Stay tuned.
So, yeah. Okay, should we get into the highs then?
Yes.
Okay, so Should I go first, or do you want to go first again?
I feel like my high is like a really big home.
You're very excited about your high, so I'll take this one. I'll take the lead on this one. Lucas buzzing his hair. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I actually was like, when he came back for the start of season 2, I was like, oh, he's attractive now. Like, I didn't think he was attractive in season 1. When he came with the buzzed hair, I was like, yes, attractive.
Interesting, because Nathan also buzzes his hair in season 3 and was like, there you go.
I thought the exact same thing. So that'll be another high for my season 3. So
okay.
Jess likes the buzzed hair, I guess. I don't know. But, so yeah, that. Brooke going broke. Now, most people would probably consider that a low. I look at it as a high because I felt like it was a chance for her to grow as a person and for her character to go somewhere and to develop into something, which it did. So I actually thought that was a high of the season. Dare Night. Everything about Dare Night. As much as I hated Felix, I did love Dare Night.
Dare Night was really cool.
Fabulous. Lucas running around in a bra in the mall. I was like, that's genius. So funny. Tim taking a dump on the golf course. Like, they're like, that was supposed to be an O. That was a typo. Karen and Andy, I actually really liked their relationship.
Yes.
I felt like season 1 was a little heavy with the Dan and the Keith drama, and that Keith really loved her. Which again, I still love Karen and Keith together, but I felt like Karen needed somebody not from her past to see how great she was.
Yes.
And to make her feel great, because she was never going to be able to move on unless she had a relationship like that. She would always feel stuck in her past, I feel like. So I thought that was a good addition to season 2. Starting Trick, obviously. We talked about that. So I did like them starting that. That was a fun little aspect. Lucas realizing how great Brooke really is by the end of the season. That was super high for me. I was just like, where was this? Like, why didn't you... Like, he obviously dated her in season 1, but he didn't really get the chance to, like, get to know her, and I think he finally saw who she was in season 2, so I loved that. And then, everything about Jake. I just wrote, everything about Jake, 3 exclamation points. So, Jake. We all know I'm a Jake Jagowski fan. So, everything about Jake that season, and then just the cliffhanger did it for me. Who tried to kill Dan? I mean, that's a good high.
Wow. Those were some good highs. There are some that are not on my list.
Okay.
So, the slumber party episode, my absolute favorite. I loved everything about that episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love when she walks in and she goes, Felix, Anna, oh my eyes! I love that part. I love the whole Haley's getting her face painted with what looks like guacamole, and she says, there's a big difference between a lie and a little white lie. And she's like, oh, really? That whole scene of them backstabbing each other and being catty was great. I love the reconciliation in that, where they got to come together and be open and vulnerable with one another. Brooke wanting more for herself. So I think that goes in line with you, like her going broke and having to really dig deep and find herself. I loved that whole Brooke's turning point in that whole season.
I mean, she ran for president. I mean, that was a big step for her.
Well, yeah, she also had to get a job, so that's where she worked at Carl's and found, advocacy and standing up for the little guy, and that kind of pushed her into, what, maybe I can do more. And then she, ran for president and got it. Obviously, that whole storyline was great. So I had lobsters in here as well.
Lobsters.
The way that Brooke broke up with Felix.
Friends reference, sorry.
Yes.
He's her lobster.
But yes, the way Brooke ended things with Felix was my absolute favorite, when she found out that he was the one to spray paint that on Peyton's locker, and she went over and confronted him, and I was like, yes, go girl.
Yeah, also his excuse of why he did it,
is dumb.
Like, we weren't together. That doesn't, you being together now doesn't excuse your actions.
I was mad because you broke up with me that night. Well, okay.
That still doesn't excuse what you did.
Spray paint hate speech on my best friend's locker.
Yeah, it just was a horrible reasoning, and
it was awful.
Yeah, it was not good.
And then I figured that they would point the fingers at Peyton, and since it wasn't true, it would go away. That's awful.
Okay, so low key though, I think he was trying to protect his sister in a sense. So that
But
I
you don't go
understand,
from-
but you don't do that. You don't
Right.
go from protecting your sister from
To
bullying
hate speech.
to then,
Hate
that.
speeching and bullying someone,
Yeah.
what you were trying to have not happen to your sister, you
Yeah.
just turned around and did to somebody else. Awful.
Definitely misguided, what's the word I'm looking for?
Intentions?
Yeah, maybe?
Oh.
Just misguided. Just the whole thing.
Whole
Not
thing's
good.
misguided.
Yeah.
Yes. Cliffhanger at the end of the dealership fire. What's going on? Is he gonna make it? Is he not gonna make it? Jake coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Loved the whole thing.
I mean, when he walked up in that shadow, I was like,
He's here to save the day.
how do you not love that man? I'm like, come on.
What does he say to Rick? Because he walked. Who are you? Who the hell are you? I can't remember what he says.
Something like that. And then also when he called out, when he was telling Peyton about how he saw Haley at the bus station, with some dude, which was Chris Keller, obviously. Oh, Chris Keller! He's not on my list anywhere.
Chris Keller.
I did not like him, but I thought he brought...
he was the antagonist.
But I thought he brought some good dynamics to, the storylines, because otherwise it would have probably been boring without him there. So I did
like his sass.
Yeah, I did like that. But, Jake telling Peyton about, well, I saw Haley, the way he said it too, he was just like, well, I saw Haley doing this, and I was like, ooh, you spilled the tea, Jake.
You tell everybody everything. The NYC trip with Brooke and Lucas when they go to see Haley. That's towards the very, very end. I loved that. You really got to see Brooke shine in some of those. She had some really good one-liners. But
She did.
Are you okay? It's hard to breathe. The room's being swept clean of all Chris's ego. Can we go?
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
That was a good one. I did write Jimmy Eat World because I feel like he was very big in that time. He was in a couple different things, but I liked that play that. And my final high is Peyton and Anna's conversation. When Peyton has the hate speech written on her locker, she stands up to Principal Turner, whom, by the way, worst friggin' principal on the entire planet.
Awful. Just awful.
Absolute worst. Just awful all around. So I wrote the whole entire speech down because I love it so much.
Yeah, to elaborate on that too, I also really enjoyed the scene where you see Anna telling the story of her coming out, and you think she's just practicing in the mirror, and then all of a sudden it pans
to her parents,
and it's the parents are in the background. So this whole time you think she's practicing the speech, they're actually in the background listening. So I thought that was a moving moment.
Because she does start out in the mirror,
season.
but then the further it zooms out, you realize that she's actually talking.
Yeah, it zooms out and it pans over to the side a little bit, so you can see her parents sitting in the background.
Yeah, they did a very good job. And the part about that too is there's a part where it looks like the mom or one of the parents kind of hangs their head like they're upset. But then I think it goes the next episode or a couple episodes later, she tells Lucas that she told her parents and she said they were really supportive and they told me that they love me. And I'm like, oh, good.
The thing though that was then hard though was that she had this turning moment, and then you think that she's going to now bring something to the show, and then
she's gone.
She's gone because she's like, I'm going back to my school where I had my friends, and which is great, obviously, to be able to go back and be who you truly are, but it also would have been nice to keep her around in the show a little bit longer, just to kind of, see how that storyline plays out a little bit. Maybe bring somebody else in that she is maybe attracted to, but maybe isn't ready to come out, or something along those lines. But I also get it, small town, that's not always something that is openly talked about.
Yes.
So maybe they just didn't want to keep that storyline going. But
I feel like we were done with the Delgado family at that point. So
yeah, I think they brought them in to try to spice things up. I just think it kind of fell flat and it didn't go anywhere. And then I think they kind of saw the writing on the wall that Brooke and Lucas were meant to get back together. I think that was just the point of season 2. Halfway through that season, you start to see it and you're like, okay, we're going back to this storyline, but this time it's probably going to stick for a while. And then I have my thoughts about season 3 with that relationship as well, but I don't want to get into it too soon.
Yeah. I also feel like they needed something to set up the tour.
Yes.
And that's kind of where...
Because they did that tour for real, in real time, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
A friend of mine actually went to that show, and I'm pretty sure in one of my memory boxes I have a signed picture of Joy.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll have to look for it.
You should have went.
I should what?
You should have went when it was like happening. You should have went.
I was in high school and I wasn't allowed to do a whole lot. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I'm really excited that we're going to the concert with Tyler Hilton and Kate Vogel.
Yeah, it would have been fun though if Joy signed on to do that too. Like
Yes.
I would have loved to hear her sing live because her voice is amazing. I actually choreographed a solo to one of her songs. Yeah, because I was obsessed with her voice. I did. So it's really, you can't find it anywhere. I had to like rip it off of YouTube. It's the one that she sings for the first time in front of Nathan on the piano.
Oh.
Yeah, I just love the power in her voice, and I had to tweak it a little bit. I had to edit it because there was like some audio in there from the show that I had to like work around. But
It's
even
October again.
yeah, yes, that
Leaves
one.
are coming down.
Yeah, and you could use like the Sarah McLachlan, like she sings the original, but it just doesn't hit.
Not the same. She
The
really
same.
belts it out, man.
Yeah, I listened to the original, like this just isn't doing it for me. And when I played it for my student who was gonna dance to it, she was just like, I love this. She was like, where can I find this? I'm like,
You can't.
you can't. Like it's like
It does not exist.
Like I screen recorded it off of YouTube. Like that's how I got it. So yeah,
Love that.
yeah,
We did it.
we did. We got through season 2. We didn't touch on a lot of other stuff, like outside of One Tree Hill, but we talked a lot about One
Really
Tree Hill.
focused this time.
Yeah, we were very focused.
Dedicated this time. Less distractions. So, but yeah.
Any hot takes? Oh, I actually have one.
I didn't have a hot
I
take.
didn't know if I did or didn't.
My thing was just Peyton's speech to Anna. That's
All right, I have a hot take,
okay. I'm ready.
and it's about season 2. I actually appreciated Haley leaving for her music career. And people are going to be like, no, she left Nathan. No, she needed to do it. She never did anything for herself. I don't think she went about it the right way.
Oh yeah, she could have handled that way better.
I don't think the way she handled it was the right way, but I think her leaving, made them stronger in the long run.
Yeah.
If had she not done that, then they wouldn't have had the reconciliation that they had. They wouldn't have gotten back to the people who they first were when they first fell in love with each other, because that's when she sang for him. That's when I think was like a turning point in his mind. Like, oh, I love this girl. You know what I mean? So not that a song should do that, but you know what I mean? Like, I think he just looked at her in a different way.
Him.
Yeah. And then like he was getting back into like his basketball, working hard, going to High Flyers. So if she didn't do that, I think Nathan would have just been like whipped by Haley. Just like,
Yes.
they're just home, they're in One Tree Hill, whatever. So I think she needed to leave, and then that helped him thrive, helped her become who she was, and then
Would he have gone to High Flyers if she hadn't gone on tour?
that's what I'm saying. I don't think he would have.
Well, he wasn't going to. That's why he was so upset about the music, because he's, go look at the letter in my drawer.
Yeah.
I decided to say no to this for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I agree. I think her leaving was the right thing to do for their storyline and for their relationship, which most people won't agree because of how hurt they were by it or whatever. But I don't know. I just know a lot of people didn't like that storyline, but I actually appreciated it. I thought it brought some drama.
I
to
don't
the
like
show.
how it went down. I appreciate the storyline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's my hot take. I'm sticking with it.
I guess second hot take of that would be, I might be confusing seasons. No, her and Taylor have a conversation. She's like, I don't know what to do. And she says, I know you and you're going to do the right thing.
I think that was season 2.
Yeah. Her and Quinn also have the same conversation in the later seasons, but her and Taylor, she's like, I just don't know what to do. And she goes, you're Haley, whatever it is, it's going to work out no matter what.
Yeah.
I just think that's encouraging advice.
Which I actually thought was a redeeming moment for Taylor. Because Taylor's character was not great, but
Taylor's character
she
is not
actually
great.
was like being a big sister in that moment.
Yeah.
And actually
Trying to
being there
help
for
guide her without telling her what to do.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked that. Yeah. It's a good addition to the hot take. I like it.
I like it. All right, everybody.
All right, so next episode we're gonna jump into season 3, which is our favorite. So we're gonna be super excited about that one.
Can't wait.
Yep. So we will see you next time. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.